Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, a really special guest. You know, I always say that, but sometimes we just have some really special guests, and today's one of those days. So I really am looking forward to getting started on it. We're going to do short weather, so we spend a lot of time with our guests. We're looking at today's high of 87 and low of 74. Water temperature 81 degrees. We don't have the river readings this morning, but our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at today's tide with a high tide at 12:51. That's right in the middle of the day. And then a low tide at 11:51. Today's June the 5th. And we're looking at good tides today and tomorrow, but looking on in Saturday, the weekend, not very good. But if you want to take a look at next week's tide, you're talking about some strong tides. Next week's going to be that way, so be aware of that. Marine forecast will be coming out south at about 10 to 12. So let's take our break. We're going to come right on back. Welcome back, and look who is here. My little Whitney.
Hey, Granddaddy.
Hey, honey. All right, listen here. She's home with us for a couple of days, and one of her requirements was come on Panhandle Outdoors. Of course, she's always excited about it because she's been with us since she was about this high on Panhandle Outdoors.
Yes, sir.
And people ask me all the time, how's little Whitney doing? So you tell the folks how you doing. What's been going on?
I'm doing great. I'm going into my senior year at Brentwood High School in Tennessee. I can't believe it.
Say that again.
That I'm a senior.
Okay.
At Brentwood High in Nashville, in Brentwood, Tennessee, and it's just been great. I mean, I'm in a class there. I'm in a TV production class there, so I'm still kind of continuing the film and photography and kind of being in front of the camera. That class is so great. I'm surrounded by kids my age that are interested in the same things, and they're familiar with nice camera equipment and stuff, and I'm learning a lot from them every day that I'm in school. So that's going great.
So you got up there and y'all lived outside. You still got a farm sort of 45 miles about west of Nashville,
right,
sort of down below Clarksville, and we've been up there and all. And tell us about the farm life and living up there on the farm, because y'all sort of have two places y'all go to.
Right. So on one side of the road we have about 300 acres, and then on the other side we have about 185. So we basically say it's about 500 acres. We've got goats. We've got our dog,
goats. They got a lot
Maggie.
of goats.
We've kind of traded in our horses for four-wheelers. We had a couple horses, and now we got four-wheelers because they don't eat as much. And it's just been great. I mean, we go there on the weekends. During the week, we're in Brentwood. My dad's working in an office there, and we're going to school there. And then on the weekends, we come back and enjoy the farm, and it's quiet out there. It's always nice.
And you also run over there on Wednesday after school,
right,
go to church on Wednesday
Right, we're
night.
Still going to church over in Dixon, so we're there during the week and on the weekends.
Tell the folks about those goats that y'all had. The special African pygmy, or what are they called?
They're Nigerian dwarf goats.
Oh, okay,
and,
that was close.
You were close enough. We're still raising them. We have about 20 right now, and they just started having their summer babies. So a lot of them have been pregnant for a while, and now they're just having babies.
I didn't realize people really like that species so much. What do y'all sell them for? I mean,
the males start at about 150, and they go up from there, and then the females go to 300. We've sold some for 450 and 500 because they're registered, and people are interested in them for their bloodlines. They show them in registered goat shows and milk them. People do a lot of stuff with some little goats.
And they actually have goat shows?
Right, they do, and it's a big deal too. I mean, people take it very seriously.
I guess we just don't have time to cover all the things we need to cover.
I know.
One thing too is a big responsibility. I know actually it's a farm life and all on feeding and all that. So how did y'all go about back when you were at the farm? How did y'all rotate feeding the goats? Who did what and all?
Since we've been in Brentwood, since January, my mom has taken care of them.
Oh yeah, I realize that. But back and then on weekends y'all do it. But back when y'all were over there on the farm, who did what and all?
My sister and I own most of the goats. I mean, we put in all our chore money and saved up for a while and got the goats. So we were the ones who were really taking care of them and giving them fresh water and giving them hay and grain. So it was really my sister and I, and every now and then Dad and Mason would help pitch in if we needed some stronger arms, they would help out. But really, it was just my sister and I taking care of the goats.
Yeah. What about you had a nice log cabin across the road?
Right. We have a hunting cabin that we've been renting out to some people, whether they want to hunt or just vacation there. It's quiet. It's tucked back in the woods. It's a 5-bedroom cabin.
It's big.
And it's perfect for a family or grandparents and their grandkids to want to go stay for a while. It's nice and secluded, and it's on some nice land that you can go hiking on, go hunting on. It's really great.
Yeah, it really is isolated over there and all, but it's also, we were up there in the wintertime, it's also cold.
It got cold this past winter.
Yeah.
The winter before last year's was really mild, and all the locals said once there's a mild winter, the next year's winter is going to be brutal, and it held true for last winter. It was so cold. But we got through it, and we kept the animals warm, we kept ourselves warm, and now it's nice and 95 degrees and humid up in Tennessee. So
yeah, it does get that way.
Right.
And that storm went straight. It's funny, I was at Navarre Beach and I was at Panama City Beach. We had a storm in both places, and then I saw on radar it went right over y'all's place in Tennessee.
Right.
Right over all.
Right.
So it was all over the place. Now, Whitney, when we come back, we're going to talk about how Whitney got started in TV and all. A lot of you people have been so kind and all asking about her, and the casting call show, but she was actually, I got started on some video with Panhandle Outdoors, and last night we started going through some of these. I got stacks of DVDs. I've saved every one of them, and I sort of had them organized, I thought, but the one I was looking for in particular I couldn't find, but we're going to show 1:45 seconds, but we pulled out some other DVD. We were laughing last night. We had tears in our eyes.
We were laughing so hard. Oh my goodness.
Well, all the kids were out at the house, and all spending the night in one big room and all. But we started watching about 9:30, 10 last night. We started looking at those videos, and I know you pulled out those old family movies, and if you haven't seen them in a while, it's the same situation and them doing things. And I think they get more of a kick out of them than we did when they were little doing things. So right now we're going to end this segment. We got a little 45-second clip of showing this video. And this particular video, we're talking about, you'd done the shows for several years. This is not your youngest. We'll get some younger video we're going to show later. But this one was a scallop device and trying to figure out the size. Remember, years ago, we talked about here on Panhandle Outdoors, and Whitney came up with this idea of this little measuring device and on the scallops. And probably if we could have done that and got everybody to go by that and got FWC behind it, we still may have a lot of scallops in St. Joe Bay, because that was a great idea. So, but that's how she was always thinking on the show and all. So we're going to show this video. Jeff, had better show it now or after we come back?
Do it now.
Okay, so we're going to show this video, take a break, and then come back. All right, here we go.
Hey, I'm Whitney here from Panhandle Outdoors, and we are out here on St. Joe Bay. There's not a boat in sight. We're here scalloping. We just brought in today's catch, and we have something new today. This is the size of a scallop, and if you are about to clean your scallops, and if you find one that's big, you're gonna put it up to here. If it's big enough, it's a keeper. You can clean it. But if it falls through, you know what to do. So you throw it back. There you go. So you just go ahead and do it with all these. Throw back the little ones and keep the big ones and go ahead and clean them. You're gonna have a good dinner.
All right, welcome back. Sitting with my oldest grandchild.
Favorite oldest grandchild.
My favorite oldest grandchild, Whitney Woodrick, and they've moved now, but they grew up right next door, right around the road from us and all, and we had a lot of quality time as she was growing up. And that video we just showed on that scallop device, that was a great idea.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy scalloping when you were down here?
Some of my most favorite memories, like just in the outdoors and even just in the water, are scalloping with the family whenever we used to always go. And I remember whenever we were too little to go by ourselves, so we'd partner up with an adult and we'd see little crabs and seahorses. That's just some of the best memories, and I loved going back and cleaning them out on the patio and then frying them up and eating them just a couple hours after we caught them, just that fresh food. I love that.
I can remember you were just holding on to my swimsuit with one hand. You were moving the other hand. You were holding on my swimsuit here, and your little hand was going like that swimming, and you were trying to talk through the snorkel. And I hear, and I said, well, we just stop and then take your snorkel out and tell them what you saw. But that was some fun times and all. And we still, that's why we always talk about how much fun scallop is for families and all through generations and everything. Okay, now we got some. Then you and your dad got together, and you were doing some stuff with me on Panhandle Outdoors, and your dad really had a great idea, and y'all got together on the show and started doing your own show. And tell us about it right there.
So some of y'all may have watched it. It was Cast and Call Outdoors. We got the name idea from it was biblical. It was cast your cares upon the Lord and call upon His name. And so cast and call, it also related to, things you do in the outdoors. You call in a deer, you cast out for a fish. And I was homeschooled at the time, so I had plenty of time on my hands to travel around. We did an elk hunt in Colorado. We went out to Montana. We did a lot of things traveling around, and I was the host of it. It was such a great thing for me. I loved it so much. It was a great experience.
That's a lot. I had no idea how many people watched it until they quit doing it. And then people started calling me and emailing me, well, where's Cast and Call? What's going on? And every time I went somewhere, up to Funiac Springs or down to Weewall or wherever I ran, people asked me about Panhandle Outdoors. Where's Whitney? Where's he doing? So anyway, how many years did y'all do that? How many seasons?
We did it for 3 seasons, it rounded out to about 2.5 years.
Okay, a couple of seasons. Here was a logo. I really liked the logo y'all put in there. You got the horns on the top and then the hook down there. Cast and Call Outdoors. And like I say, so we're going to show you some pictures from there. In the early days, you were fishing with Justin Leake.
Right, that was one of the first fishing trips that we had done, and Justin was nice enough to take out my dad and I didn't have very much experience at all red fishing, so he was patient with me. I learned a lot on that trip. That was a lot of fun. It was
Justin was so good about doing that. I always appreciated Justin jumping in there and doing that. All right, what about this?
This was a 7-point that I killed on one of our properties in Alabama. We had a hunt and lease up there for a few years, and that was one of the first bucks. I think it was the first decent buck that I killed. Yeah.
That was a cold morning.
It was cold. It was snowing in Alabama.
Now, what about this one?
So this was a part of a rodeo that my sister Ashley, she's 15 now. She was probably about 12 or 13 in this picture. But she was in a rodeo out in Montana. We stayed with a family who did a lot of rodeos, and they had 2 girls, one Ashley's age and one my age, and they taught Ashley a lot about horses, and they were like, and we're going to a rodeo this weekend, you should be a part of it. So Ashley got dressed up in her little cowgirl boots and her flannel and her cowgirl hat, and she went out there and did her best. I remember that horse did not want to cooperate with Ashley, but it was good for Ashley, and looking back, I'm sure she'd say she enjoyed it, but that was fun.
That was cool. Now, how long were y'all in Montana?
We stayed for about 2 months, I want to say.
Okay, y'all were there a good while.
It was.
Learned a lot. It's pretty country out there, isn't it?
It is. I can't even explain. It's just amazing. It's so beautiful.
But y'all were in the summertime.
We were. It was also during the forest fires up in Glacier National Park. So for a while, it was so smoky down in central Montana, even though the fires were almost 100 miles away.
Oh, all right. Tell us about this.
This is Dad and Mason squirrel hunting. I remember one of Mason's first things that he ever did out in the outdoors was just go out and walk around the block on our property and everything and shoot squirrels with Dad. And so that was a picture of them when Mason was younger.
There's a lot of them out there. And,
and then this was a buck that Ashley had killed. And also in Alabama. It wasn't
this is
on
not
the
a
same
Tennessee
list.
one. This is not the one in Tennessee.
No, this wasn't the one in Tennessee. Ashley was younger in this one, but this was one of the first bucks that she killed. And poor Ashley, every time she harvests a deer, her face starts to swell up. She's allergic to deer.
She is, yeah.
She's allergic to deer. She's allergic to, anything really with hair.
Yeah, it's a hair and all. We talked about that. So she got to shoot them and then she got someone else got to clean them.
Yeah, then she go, nope, I can't do anything. So then we'd be stuck cleaning.
I got to try that trick. That's pretty good. Be allergic to them.
Yep.
So anyway, we got some more. We got plenty of pictures on. Like I said, we got plenty of videos. But I want to show you that one. But my favorite, I don't know if I have a favorite all the time. I'm going to show it some later on in the week, maybe, or or maybe even next week, once I find it, is you throwing a cast net.
Right.
And you wasn't very, that was the first thing I ever had you do on the show. And it was just turned out, she just, on the very first cast, you just threw a perfect circle. So,
how old was I in that? I think I was
know,
about
honey, seriously,
4 or 5.
You were like 3.
Wow.
Let's see. How old are you now? 17?
17.
So I did it. We started the show 13 years ago, so you were right between 3 and 4. So,
wow.
Because I remember the first thing had you doing it all.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna take a final break and come back with Whitney. All right, welcome back. Sit here with little Miss Whitney Woodrick, not little anymore, but she's been with us a long time as far as being on Panhandle Outdoors. They're in town for a couple of days, so we got up early this morning.
Early. It took me a while to wake up, didn't it?
She slept halfway in. Let's do a fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers, 5:59 a.m. to 7:59. And then this evening, 6:22 to 8:22, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers and all. Whitney, what does the future hold for you, honey?
Going into senior year, I'm a little nervous. I'm going to start applying for colleges and just kind of branching out from just the everyday high school routine, which is kind of scary. But I'm going to really focus on just relaxing and enjoying the last year of high school, because sometimes I complain about the schoolwork and my teachers and stuff, but I don't want high school to end, so.
I pray for my family every morning. Whitney's always the first one to pray for, and I just cause for that. But a couple years ago, you came down, you got type 1 diabetes, and it was a setback to you and all the family, but especially you. And type 1 is a serious one. And but wow, how she has overcome it, and it's something you deal with every day, baby.
It is. It's something that I wake up with and go to bed with. It's not something I can pause and think about later. I mean, it's something that's always there with me, but I've learned to live with it. It's taken some adjusting, but it's
I know it's a challenge to you, but you around Vanderbilt. They even had you on a panel because you handled so well and all.
Yeah, every year they have a little convention for like diabetics, type 1 diabetics, to get together, and then I was on a panel with 4 or 5 other kids around my age with type 1, and we had people ask us questions about what it's like. They asked advice if their kids have diabetes, what can they do better as parents. I mean, there were a lot of great questions asked, and I was really honored to be a part of that. It was great.
But it hadn't affected your smile, or it hadn't affected your way of life.
I don't want it to.
I know it. That's awesome. Okay. Well, so anyway, so let's get back to your future about what you want to get into and all that.
Right. Really, I really want to focus on photography. Recently, I've got a photography page on Instagram, and I've done prom photo shoots, I've done graduation photo shoots, and it's been so great for me. I remember the first camera I picked up was Grandmommy's little still camera, and whenever I was playing around with that, I realized I wanted to save up and get my own, because it was something that I really enjoyed doing. So I would love to make a career out of photography. I know it's a difficult path to take because it's so there's so many people doing it, but it's definitely something that I want to pursue. I'm in a great program at school that's helping me open doors to that, getting to know people who are older and know more. It's something that I want to do, definitely.
And you're at Brentwood High School.
Right.
I got a kick out of there a couple years ago on his 16th birthday. What you want to do, that was a special birthday, and what we didn't want to do was go camping. That was what you want to do on her 16th birthday. And we went up there for it, and we were at the camp, they were at the state park and all, getting ready to set up camp, and I mean, it flooded.
It came,
all weekend, so we had to call off the camping trip, but we still had a big birthday party. But I thought it was cool that she wanted to do something outdoors for her 16th birthday and all. And
I may put it off till the 18th, so I still want to do that.
Okay, the cabin y'all have up there, and people can rent that cabin out, right?
Right. It's a great place, even for like little family reunions. I mean, like I said, it's just a great place to get away. It's quiet back there. I look out in the field in front of the cabin, and there's always a doe with a little yearling or something like that. It's just a great place to be, just to get away from it all and relax and everything.
And your neighbor's little boy got a big buck this past season.
Right. We actually had one of my really good friends, who's also our neighbor. He came down and hunted one morning. I think he came out there once, and he nailed, I want to say it was an 8-point.
It was a big one.
It was a nice buck. It was a great buck. So good for him. That was the first deer he had actually ever killed.
All right, so we got a couple minutes left. So you're gonna get back. You got to go back now in a couple of days, but you're gonna get back down here this summer during scallop season, right?
Right. We're gonna come down for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And stay down at the Cape. I definitely want to get a scallop trip in.
And you're at a point now where some friends of yours probably want to come down here.
They've already asked me about it. They hear that we've got a beach house and they want to come down and hang out.
They want to come down here and share it, and all, which would be wonderful and all.
Awesome.
So what's your goal is? I know what your goal is personally. What about later on and when you get out of school and all and get your job? What do you want to try to do?
Well, photography is something that I really want to pursue. Right now, I got a job at Starbucks.
Oh, that's right.
And that's something that I've been at that job for about 3 weeks now. I'm still technically in training, but I love that job. It is so fun. I get free Starbucks too, so that's
free Starbucks.
extra little perk.
And we can't finish the show without you talking about your faith and how your faith has been so prevalent in your life and your family's life too.
The past 2 years have been more difficult than any of the other years just because, starting out, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and then going from there, I'm getting in the later years of high school and starting to I'm having to be more independent, going out and making my own money, meeting people that can help me in the future. So I've been forced to grow up a lot recently, and it's not that I haven't enjoyed it and learned a lot, but it's kind of shocking, sort of. It's like, this is the real world, and I'm gonna have to go out in it and be my own person. But all throughout all of that, I've always had the Lord there to remind me who I am, and my relationship with Him is always something that I will strive harder for and push towards. That's the most important relationship in my life, definitely. So throughout all the craziness, the chaos, the turning tables, just as I'm going throughout life here recently, the Lord's always been there, and that's something that I can never be thankful enough for.
And as a grandparent, it just flat out just don't get any better than that right there to see your grandchild with that situation there. So, but the outdoors have been strong too in your background and your faith and all, and your family's always been there, and so it's been a great run, a great ride, and so great things ahead of you.
Right.
I can promise you, you're going to have some exciting things ahead of you.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So, we're gonna wrap it up, honey, and we're gonna go maybe go get some breakfast or something. And
sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We just do real people, always have, and wonderful having you on, honey.
Thank you.
Okay. Y'all do something good today for your fellow man. You have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.